Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. So I didn't get a chance to cover the Super Mario Brothers CG movie announcement that happened last week during the Nintendo Direct. I had recorded a video about it to give some thoughts on it, but unfortunately I waited a little bit too long, and it's just at this point seems kind of pointless. But I do want to do a follow-up to that at the very least, and talk about this specifically. So as you can see from the title here, actor John Leguizamo takes issue with Super Mario Brothers voice cast. Too bad they went all white. Now, this is an article from Bounding Into Comics. I'll link it in the description below if you guys want to go ahead and read it for yourselves. But the reason I wanted to address this is because I grew up a fan of John Leguizamo. I loved his stand-up growing up. He really came into prominence during the 1990s. Was in a couple different movies, some better than others. One of his more well-known roles was actually as Luigi in the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie, which is not one of the better video game adaptations, live-action adaptations. Really a real bad one, not the worst one, but pretty bad, and but bad in a good way. It's one of those movies that he is known for, even though it's a bad movie. You know, he is known for his role in that. He, of course, also was in Son of Sam, or Summer of Sam, I should say, the movie Summer of Sam, as well as a movie that I really liked that he was in, and this was more in the early 2000s, was Empire, in which he played the starring role. Probably my favorite movie where he's played the starring role in. And he has done, occasionally, he has done roles in other movies and things like that, and TV shows, things of that nature. His career, one could say, is really winding down at this point. He is in his late 50s, so he hasn't really done anything too significant. So that's going to come into play later on. I'll mention why, but I'll go over this article here real quick because I do have some thoughts regarding this. So Super Mario Brothers actor John Leguizamo, who played Luigi in the 1993 film, reacted to the recently announced voice cast for the upcoming Super Mario Brothers animated film. Back on September 23rd, during Nintendo's latest Nintendo Direct, they revealed that Chris Pratt was tapped to voice Mario and Charlie Day would voice Luigi. They also revealed that Anya Taylor-Joy would voice Princess Peach. Other members of the cast include Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which I think, in my opinion, is a terrible casting choice because he's probably just going to sound like he does in every other movie. Doesn't have a whole lot of range. But I digress. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. Veteran Mario voice actor Charles Martinet is also part of the movie and will be doing a number of surprise cameos. And I do remember that when the whole controversy regarding Chris Pratt being the voice of Mario kicked off, it was really more because of the fact that people, there's this contingent of people online that think that Chris Pratt is the most horrible person in the world because he is a Christian, and they assume that he is of a certain political leaning, that he might be conservative, although he himself has never come out and publicly talked politics. But because he has been very open about his Christianity, there's this assumption that he must also be very right-leaning and things of that nature. And honestly, that is really nobody's business, but if he were, I don't think it would matter either. Who cares, in my opinion? I mean, he gets paid to act like certain characters. People can vote with their dollars, so that's what they should do in situations like that. And there was part of the controversy too, was people were asking why not Charles Martinet, because he's been voicing Mario in the games for over 20 years at this point. And while I can understand that, and I wouldn't mind that myself, Charles Martinet has done a lot of just phrases and things like that over the course of over 20 some odd years. He's never had to do anything where Mario is saying a lot of dialogue. It's just really phrases, words here and there over the course of several different games, don't get me wrong, but we don't know if he has the credentials to really carry an entire film with his voice. Chris Pratt has been tested in that and has done that before in the past. Now, whether or not he'll be a good voice of Mario, I don't know. Does he have the credentials to do a project like this? Absolutely. So take that for what you will. But we'll continue on here. The movie is being directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic. They previously worked on Teen Titans Go and Teen Titans Go to the movies together. Jelenic previously produced Thundercats Roar, a pretty terrible series, in my opinion. Batman the Brave and the Bold, Batman vs. Two-Face, and the 2011 Thundercats series. Good series, in my opinion. The script for the film was written by Matthew Fogel. Fogel previously wrote the Lego Movie 2, the second part, and Minions: The Rise of Gru. Okay, so they already have people working on this production that do have the credentials to be working on it as well, that have worked on successful animated projects. So the film is being produced by Chris Melandri and Illumination alongside Shigeru Miyamoto of Nintendo, which there was no way they could have done a movie based on Mario, whether it be CG, live action, or whatever, this time around with all the resources that are out there in Hollywood. Why wouldn't you get Shigeru Miyamoto on board, right? It is being financed by Nintendo and Universal Pictures. Universal will also distribute the film. As noted by Variety, Melandri detailed, Mario and Luigi are two of the most beloved heroes of all popular culture, and we are honored to have the unique opportunity to work so closely with Shigeru Miyamoto and widely imaginative team at Nintendo to bring these characters to life in an animated movie, unlike any film Illumination has made to date. And yeah, as they've said, and I'm sure many of you have seen these videos where they've talked about how iconic of a character Mario is, that he's much more recognizable than Mickey Mouse, and he's been more recognizable than Mickey Mouse worldwide for over 20 years at this point. So more people know who Super Mario is than Mickey Mouse. It's crazy, right? Considering he hasn't existed nearly as long. Mickey Mouse has something like a 50, 60-year head start on Mario, so take that for what it is. Reacting to this announcement on Twitter, Leguizamo stated, "So glad Super Mario Bros. Is getting a reboot. Obviously, it's iconic enough, but too bad they went all white. He added no Latinx in the leads, groundbreaking colorblind casting in original. Plus, I'm the only one who knows how to make this movie work script-wise." So we see here, this is a picture of his tweet, and you see he's obviously, showing screenshots of when he was Luigi in the 1993 Super Mario Brothers live-action movie with Bob Hoskins. And there's some people that they don't like that he said this. I personally think, considering the fact that he is a comedian, I think that he's trying to bait people with this tweet. I think that he's tweeting this knowing that it's going to get a reaction out of people. I don't necessarily think that he's being serious with this. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe he is, but if he is, this would be a little bit strange, considering the fact, it just would be weird considering the fact that John Leguizamo is married to a white woman and his kids are half white. Not that that matters. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but it would be stupid of him to say something like this, right? Too bad they went all white. Be kind of dumb for him to say something like that. Like a little bit of self-awareness, in my opinion, for him to say something so silly. It just seems to me like this is a loaded tweet, because he has the buzzwords, right? Because him being a Colombian himself and also having Puerto Rican ancestry, I believe Puerto Rican ancestry on his on one of his parents' sides of the family, saying the word Latinx, knowing that that's not something. I mean, but then again, maybe he's been in Hollywood for so long, maybe he's been on the West Coast so long that maybe, he's running in these circles. Wouldn't surprise me that they use this, but, we don't really say Latinx. I mean, at least that's not something that we say here on the East Coast. At least nobody that I know says it. This is more of a woke West Coast kind of thing that Hispanics maybe over there say. We don't talk like this. It's just like, and we don't care for this. So, and this, right? Plus, I'm the only one who knows how to make this movie work script-wise. So, to me, obviously, a little bit self-deprecating humor there. He has to know, obviously, this is one of his movie failures from back in the day. But again, it's a role he's well known for. I guess one could argue whether or not for the right or wrong reasons, but I think he's just doing this really to be more controversial. I don't think that, again, just my opinion, and if he is, it'd be something really stupid for him to tweet out, right? If he really did have a problem with them being all white, because really, look, it's voice acting. I honestly don't care who voices characters. I don't think that there's any kind of, negative thing about characters not being of a particular race, voicing certain characters. That's why they're voice actors. They get in a booth. They're not in front of a camera. It's a little bit different when you're in front of the camera. There's a different conversation to be had there. When you change a character on screen, there's a different conversation to be had there. But behind the camera, or not even behind the camera, but in a booth somewhere recording a voice, I don't think it really matters. I don't think it needs to be an issue. I think it's just something that people get overly sensitive about, and I think it's ridiculous. If you can do a voice well enough to fit a character or what the idea of that character is, I don't care who voices it. I really don't. I don't think it should be an issue, and it should never be made into an issue. So, and the other thing too, which you'll see here that this article brings up, who knew Keegan-Michael Key, yes, Key of Key and Peele, and Kevin Michael Richardson were white? And if Leguizamo is just referring to the casting of Mario and Luigi, what exactly is the problem with casting white people to voice two Italian fraternal brothers? There is no problem with that, in my opinion. I see no problem with it at all. Does he have a problem with white people voicing Italian characters? I don't think that he really does. Like I said, I think that he's just doing this and he's using all these buzzwords just to, because, and this, think about this, groundbreaking colorblind casting in the original. Not really. If you go back and look at the cast, because you had, Princess Peach in this movie was white, Bob Hoskins is white, Dennis Hopper is white. I mean, John Leguizamo arguably is the only person in a starring role in this movie that can be looked at as probably the most diverse casting decision in that previous one. If you want to go there. So like I said, I think this is him just kind of baiting. I think this is him doing something to purposely be controversial. Or maybe, just maybe, he is looking to get a role in this upcoming movie and he's making noise about it, right? Maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get recruited onto this project because, hey, he hasn't done anything really too big in a while, so why not, right? The new Super Mario Brothers animated film is currently scheduled to arrive in theaters on December 21st, 2022. So, and it says here, what do you make of Leguizamo's comments regarding the voice cast for the new animated film? Honestly, I mean, look, pretty dumb, right? If he really means this, but I don't think he does. I think that this is him just messing around. I think he's just doing this to kind of get attention and just kind of be a little bit trolly, if I'm being honest. I don't take this seriously at all. I don't see any issue with what he is saying here because, again, if he is being serious, then it's a really dumb thing to tweet out. It really is. And if it's not, if it's him just kind of poking the bear a little bit just to see if people are reacting online, it wouldn't surprise me either. But that's really all I have to say at this point. I don't really care either way, but I don't think that he's being serious. That's just my opinion. And if he is, then it's a stupid, really stupid thing to tweet out. But anyways, that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Y'all have a good one.